This is INCRadio, DCEM 954, the voice of truth, the official radio station of the Church of Christ or Iglesia ni Cristo.
Guten Morgen, guten Tag und guten Abend alle. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to all our dear viewers and listeners, and welcome back to Central Europe Connections. I am Alicia Bartolome, tuning in live from Heidelberg, Germany. And before we get to our topic conversation for today, I'm of course not alone. I have, of course, my lovely co-host and a great big panel today. Hey, Henry.
Aloha! Can you say aloha, Nora? Aloha! Look at our centerpiece baby here for today's broadcast. We have Nora together with her parents, Daryl and Hannah, and my wife is always with me, Rachel. Thank you for joining us on tonight's broadcast of Central Europe Connections, where this evening we're going to be going across the ocean again. If you look at my shirt, this kind of gives you a hint of where we're at for tonight. We're going all the way back to Hawaii one more time because, I feel like I'm picked on a lot in our broadcasts learning German. So now I'm going to be showing a little bit of my culture, of Hawaii culture. So CEU Connections, again, is not just about us getting to know European culture, but also cultures from all over the world. So I wanted to use another opportunity to share more about Hawaii. And we'll be learning about desserts. But as we are promoting healthy desserts, our desserts today will be a little special, a little different. And how will it be different, Alicia? What's going to be so different about today's episode?
As you've all have been tuning in these past few weeks, we are going on a more healthier route this year. So we are going to have no sugar in our desserts tonight. So our topic for tonight is island sweetness, no sugar needed. So I hope you are all excited for our live demo later on. But of course, we will have our icebreaker first. But before we do, we still have to check what our weather status is in the three major cities here in Central Europe. So before I go on to our major cities, how cold is it over there in Kaiserslautern, Henry?
I believe the temperature in Kaiserslautern is about 1 degree or 2 degrees.
Oh, I don't know. Don't know Celsius, brother.
Yeah, we're Fahrenheit speakers, so this is a foreign language to us. So it's roughly about the same as it is over there in Heidelberg, which I believe it's about 1 degree. Cloudy skies, it's not bad. There in Zurich, I'm seeing that they have cloudy skies in 3 degrees. Amsterdam, 1 degree, mostly clear, and Berlin, which we were just at last week, they have 0 degrees, but be careful. I think it might snow soon, according to my weather resource. So to my fellow Berlin brethren, Brother Mario, nice to see you there, and all those who are greeting us in chat. Again, thank you so much for your hospitality last week. That was a very enjoyable cooking demonstration that we had, learning how to make, okay, I'm going to say it, dinner. That sounds a lot better. So it was very fun to be there last week. But also, just to go back to what we have, it is now 2 o'clock or 2:05 in the morning in the Philippines. So good morning to all of our brethren who are tuning in early in the morning. And here it is 7:05 p.m. Central European time. And don't forget to remind your fellow brethren to always try to tune in to INCRadio DZEM 954 click on the link that we are on live, and don't forget to like. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe to INCRadio for not just for our broadcast, for all of the programs and broadcasts of all of our districts all around the world. Back to you, Alicia.
Yes, thank you so much for the reminder, Henry. For those of us who just tuned in, and for those who need a little bit of help in tuning in, just make sure to go into INCRadio, DZM 954, and make sure to click live now. Share it out to your friends, and hopefully we can reach 100 views again tonight. And of course, we had so much fun in our Berlin episode last week. So those of us who want to see more of Henry traveling around, or any of our hosts, we are always happy to visit you. So make sure to leave your comments where we should visit next month or in the next few months. But yeah, let's get right into our topic conversation, or right into our icebreaker. It is very cold, so it's time to break the ice. I'll let Henry lead with this one because I'm not from Hawaii. So, Kuya Tech, can you show us our icebreaker for tonight? Kuya Henry, you can take it.
Okay, so this is in a nice way, this is revenge in a very playful way. So pidgin is fun. You probably see me in the comments every time about when we have German is fun. I always reply with pidgin is fun. So, let's learn some Hawaii pidgin together. And, I am going to rely on the good sportsmanship of Alicia to laugh at herself for a little bit. And all of you on our broadcast tonight, feel free to laugh along to yourself as you try to mimic the way that we speak in the islands. And again, Hawaii is a melting pot of cultures, of Japanese, Chinese, a lot of Filipino, and of course, native Hawaiian language cultures that when we assimilated together in the plantation days, our English combined. And it sounds the way in which you will see the dialogue on the screen. So Kuya Tech, if you can please show the dialogue on the screen of a morning conversation. And this is a typical conversation you might hear in the morning between two friends. If we can go to the next slide, Kuya Tech. And all right, so we're gonna go back and forth. My wife, who I just surprised just now, she will help me to to say that dialogue right there. She will play the part of Leilani. I will play the part of Keoki. Now, those are two Hawaiian names. Leilani is pretty much beautiful flower. If you ever want to name your future daughter Leilani, that's what it means, beautiful flower. Or Keoki, which in Hawaii, that means George. So Keoki is a Hawaii name. So this is a typical dialogue of what me and my wife will now demonstrate how the pidgin language sounds. So go ahead, wife. Say the first lines.
Hey, how's it? Where you was the other day?
I had to bring the kind to school. Bombay, she late again.
Had some good cocoa at the breakfast buffet. Good mochi too.
Hanaho next week. Can or what?
Shoots.
Kidding. So I know Brother Scott, if he's tuning in, he probably saw that, and he can probably say that with no problem. And if any others who have ties to Hawaii, he's probably heard that before. So we're going to do a quick quiz on some of the words that you saw. And we're going to pick on our panelists here, and as well as Alicia. So, where? So, Alicia, first, I want to ask you, please, can you say that word?
This is going to be fun. I'm just going to say it, wea.
Wea. Sure, wea. So what does it mean, Alicia? What do you think it means? Hey, where, or how?
I'm going to go with where, just because of the spelling is very similar. So I'm going to go with B, where.
All right, Kuya Tech, is she correct? Where? And many words ending with the R sound often will be replaced with the ea sound. So where is like where, there is like there, care is like I know kea. But that's pretty much, if you want to learn to speak pidgin, that's how it'll sound. All right, Kuya Tech, next slide. And shout out to Trisha Ikban, who is also a very big fan of Hawaii. Ara. Now, you might be thinking it's letter B, the otter that you see in the sea, or it's Ato, or other. Daryl, You married someone who lived in Hawaii for quite a bit. What do you think ara means?
Well, hopefully not to embarrass her. I'm gonna have to say it's C, other.
Other. Kuya Tech. Let's see if that's the right answer. Similar to where the R ending is replaced with the A sound. So like bother, bara, other, ara, mother, mara. So these are simple Hawaii words that if you're trying to learn, and Brother Scott, again, if you're in the chat, let's share that pidgin language to Netherlands. Next slide, Kuya Tech. Bombay. So this is a little different. Bombay is something you hear. Oh, Bombay is something gonna happen. So Bombay, in the context it was used, does it mean otherwise, by the way, or is it a city in India? Hannah, first, can I ask you to say Bombay?
Bombay.
Oh, she got the pidgin down. All right. So Bombay, what do you think it means? Otherwise, by the way, or a city in India?
I think I'm gonna go with B.
B, by the way. Let's see if our chat is familiar with the word Bombay. If you had conversations with myself or Cascat or anyone else from the Hawaii, Bombay, what does Bombay mean? Kuya Tech, what is the answer to that? Is Bombay otherwise, by the way, or a city in India?
Other.
Shortened slang version to replace otherwise or else. So, for example, don't forget to put gas, Bombay, you get stuck on the road. Bombay is like or else or otherwise. All right, Kuya Tech, next slide. Cow. In the context of that conversation we had, the person, Leilani, talked about good cow. So what is she talking about? Food or eating? Fun and games or beef, but plural. Cow. So, Alicia, go ahead and just try to say the word cow.
Cow.
Okay. Very simple, right? So now you're learning pidgin very fast. What do you think cow means?
My first instinct was B, fun and games, but from context, from the dialogue, that helped a lot. I am tending towards A.
A, cow. Kuya Tech, let's see what the answer is. Is it A? Cow is food or eating, correct. And I can see our comments, somebody did say cow, that they got it correct. I see Daryl David A. I see Leonardo De Vera A. I see Kazak C. 2 cows. No, it wasn't the plural cow. It's just one cow that is delicious, hopefully. And the last question, or the last icebreaker for today. Hanaho. So hanaho, does it mean again or one more time? Is it never again or contemplate or wonder? I'll let our chat try to answer this. What do you think hanaho means? Just to give you a quick hint, if there is a concert going on and they really like the song or they like the performer, usually sometimes they'll yell, hanaho, hanaho. So with that hint, what do you think hanaho means, chat? All of our brethren and viewers in chat. Is hanaho again one more time, never again, or contemplate or wonder? And I'm already seeing answers in here. Mario Cavello says B as his guess. Eva says A. Steffi Rodero's A. Sister Celine C. Trisha Ikban A. RJ Sakiwat B. Oh, a lot of guessers. Kuya Johan A. Nanette A. What is the answer, Kuya Tech? Hanaho means again or one more time. Okay, so there we go. Congratulations to those who have answered correctly, like Bradley Takushi, also from Hawaii. At this time, I'm going to ask Alicia and Hannah to be the read the dialogue one more time. Kuya Tech, if you can show the dialogue one more time. The dialogue between Keoki and Leilani. It's either the first slide or the last slide. There we go. So Alicia, if you don't mind being Leilani, and Hannah, if you can be Keoki, in your best pidgin accent. See how well you can do to read this dialogue. Go ahead, Alicia / Leilani.
Okay, this is gonna be very fun. Um, hey, how's it? Where you was the other day?
I had to bring the kind to school. Bombay, she late again?
Had some good cow at the breakfast buffet. Good mochi too.
Hanaho, next week, can or what?
Shoots.
Kaden.
Kidding. All right. Applause to our pigeon learners. And now you know how I feel. To all those in chat, that is how it feels to learn German. All right, so that was our icebreaker for today. And if you saw a word in there, we're going to do a very sharp turn from dialogue into our main topic, which was about healthy eating and a healthier you. And we're going to, as we transition, Alicia, if you can please introduce what are we going to be doing today?
We will be actually doing a live demonstration or live baking of mochi today. So we have two great cooks or bakers actually who will be showing us how to make sugar-free mochi today. So if I'm not mistaken, later on they'll be discussing more on what exactly they'll be making, what exactly they'll be doing, and showing us on how to make everything exactly, all the ingredients. They'll be listing that as well. So make sure to have your pen and paper ready and take notes. I'm already getting hungry. I have a sweet tooth, and I'm very excited for this sugar-free recipe. And I see already our cooks are getting ready to show and demonstrate to you all our sugar-free mochi. So make sure to stay tuned. I hope you're all very excited. I am very excited. I already know the flavors, but I don't want to spoil it yet what the flavors are going to be. So I'll let Henry and Daryl take over.
And we are live back in the kitchen. If you remembered in our December 28th broadcast, we are back to the same place, the kitchen, where a lot of good things happen. So, Daryl, if you can give us an introduction to what will we be making today?
Yes, thanks, Henry. Okay, I know Alicia mentioned that whoever's going to be on here is a great baker. She's very much hyping me up because I am a very simple baker. So this evening, what we'll be making is what is known as sweet potato mochi. So a little history lesson on food. Mochi originates in Japan, but just as Henry mentioned earlier, it's made its way over to Hawaii. So for mochi, you could do a lot of things with it, but the main ingredient within that is the sweet rice flour. So you can see it at the grocery store. It could be called glutinous rice flour or sweet rice flour. So I'll put it right here so everyone could see what that looks like. There we go.
All right. So again, we're trying to promote a healthier you. Now, I would say the thing that we look for in all of our meals is the dessert. And whenever you think of dessert, you're always thinking heavy sweets. It's very heavy, and it might be very heavy, but in this example that we're going to be showing you tonight, or primarily Daryl will be showing, is a dessert where you don't have to add a lot of sugar, actually no sugar at all. And so how are we going to be doing that today, Daryl?
Perfect. I think the best way is just to go through the ingredients. So outside of the sweet rice flour, this you'll really need. The next thing you'll need is, of course, a sweet potato. Now, the beauty in this is you don't necessarily have to use a sweet potato if you don't have one. You can use another starchy vegetable. For example, you can use yams, or if you're lucky, you can use taro as well. And then not only that, because we're talking about no sugar added, what I have here is what is called monk flour sweetener. Now, you can find this in the grocery store as well, and you can use any other non-sugar-based sweeteners to your liking. But the nice part about using sweet potatoes, because it's naturally sweetened, if you are so inclined, you could actually make it with just the sweet rice flour and sweet potato. And then outside of that, just for some add-ons, not necessary at all, we do have a little bit of cinnamon, and then we also have some sesame seeds.
All right, so in our little demonstration here, we're going to be doing a little bit of fast forwarding. Of course, you won't be able to see things boiling. You don't have to wait for things baking. So we're going to do some steps to prepare everything, and then we're going to jump to the next step, so you don't have to watch it boil. And then we're going to jump to the next step, so you don't have to watch it bake. So let's get started on the first steps of preparation, Daryl. What are we going to do first?
Perfect. So really what you need is probably like 10 to 15 minutes of prep time, and then everything else is hands off and boiling. So what you didn't see in the background, so first I got to promote food safety. Always make sure you wash your hands. Make sure you're accounting for all the tools that you're using. So you'll need a knife, you'll need a peeler. First step is you're going to want to peel your potatoes. So this is going to be very boring, but we'll see how fast I can do this.
So while he's peeling the potatoes, I just want to go through chat and see how everyone is doing. I see a lot of people greeting each other. Let me ask those in chat. Actually, let me get to camera so they can see me. Let me ask those in chat, if you have a dessert that you know how to make with very little sugar or no sugar, please add it in the chat so we can all learn about other ways to be healthy but still eat desserts and not let your health be compromised. So go ahead and in the chat, share your dessert. What desserts do you like to make? And maybe what desserts do you like to make that you wish would have less or no sugar? So I see Jonathan has sent a butter mochi, #Hamburg. Luz Lumawan, my favorite, sweet potato. So we have a fan of your sweet potato already, Daryl. Andres Santos is excited for this. I like that. So desserts, are you going to make some mochi ice cream? Can we make mochi ice cream? I think that kind of defeats the purpose. In any case. But if the ice cream is sugar-free, then sure, why not? So go ahead and share what kind of desserts you would like to see or you would like to have with less sugar. It looks like Daryl's already done with the peeling, so what are we going to do next?
Look, the pressure is on, but I'm glad everyone was able to put their opinions out there. So potatoes peeled, right? Let me make sure I get this in camera. Little trick for everyone. When you're using a cutting board, if you find it slipping when you have it on your counter, what you can do is you can get yourself a wet paper towel, throw the cutting board on there, and it slips less. So this part, you definitely want to be careful. You're going to want to dice up your sweet potato. That way, when you boil it, it'll soften up a lot quicker. So while I do that, just give me like 1 minute.
Okay, and I see John Aerobic is tuned in. She says, add fruits to your dessert besides processed sugar, #Heidelberg. I think that's the, if you can call it a cheat code, is to use things that are already sweet naturally so you don't have to add any additional sugar. In addition to that, I noticed we have cinnamon as one of our ingredients. So that's another thing that adds flavor to your dessert that doesn't actually have to make it so much sweeter. So there are ways to enjoy your dessert without having to use extra sugar. So I see other chats in there talking about going for some matcha or taro mochi from Vanessa, #Hamburg. I see Atilat, dessert with less sugar. We are baking at home banana bread with less sugar because the banana is sweet enough, #Zurich. So yes, the fruits that already have enough sugar, it basically makes it so much easier for you to be healthy because once you add that fruit, you don't need to add much to it, depending on your proportions and maybe you have other sweeteners that you use. So we just saw Daryl put the sweet potato into a pot of boiling water, and we're going to just fast forward and show a finished product of that.
Okay, so I'll just talk over it before I show you the next portion. Like Henry mentioned, you're going to want to boil your potatoes. Depending on how much you use and how thick you cut them, I would say about 15 to 20 minutes. This part is kind of subjective to you, but best way to do it is you get a fork, stick it in the potato. You shouldn't need any force at all. If your fork goes right through that potato is good to go. So what you're going to want to do after, once the potatoes are done, get yourself a container. In this case, I'll just use the Tupperware that I have. And you see your potatoes here. They should be softened up. What you're going to want to do now, get a wooden spoon. You can use metal. I like to use wood because it sticks less. And you're going to want to mash your sweet potatoes.
So this, as you're mashing the potatoes, you want to get it to a certain type of texture, a texture in which I believe he'll be making it into something like bread dough when he mixes the other ingredients to it. And as he does that, when you reach that level of consistency, I don't know the German word for consistency, so I apologize. When you get to that level of consistency, you can then start to, as Daryl's about to test or about to add.
Yes, at this point, you can start adding your sweetener. Again, I'm using monk fruit sweetener. So in this case, I'm using 2 tablespoons worth of monk fruit sweetener. Again, I just want to throw a plug out there. The nice part about using sweet potatoes or yams or any similar starchy vegetables is if you like it just as sweet as the potato is, you don't even need to add any sweetener at all. So what you want to do is you want to throw it into your mash and then continue to mash it up.
Well, he continues to push to that consistency where it blends in very well. I think I saw a comment from Eva talking about red bean. And there you see Brad Takushi mashed sweet potato. And that's also not just a good dessert, but also a good side dish. You have sweet potato fries or sweet potato anything really. And Daryl's going to add next.
Next, I'm going to throw in cinnamon, completely optional, but it does give it just that extra little bit of flavor that you wouldn't get otherwise.
So more flavor into our bowl. That doesn't have to be sugar. And as he mixes that more, I see more greetings from brethren talking to each other. And that's part of CEU Connections is that this is also a venue or avenue for you to greet to each other who you don't get to see on a normal basis. Mochi dessert, yummy. That's coming from Nemi, Frankfurt City, Frankfurt Cluster. Jonah Rubik says, that looks yummy already. And what's the next ingredient we're adding?
All right. Like I mentioned, this is only 10-15 minutes of prep time, and you're almost done. So what you're going to do now, like I mentioned, mochi is sweet flour or sweet rice flour, glutinous rice flour. So what I have here is 2 cups. I didn't mention earlier my sweet potato. I want to say it's about 400 grams. So I'm using 2 cups for 400 grams of sweet potato. So the way I like to do it is I take it in half cups. I'm sorry, I don't know what the EU measurement is for half cups, but I throw it in there with the mash, and then I mix it up because I don't want to throw all two cups in there.
Yeah, so he's gonna get to the level of consistency before he adds more. Otherwise, it will come out in a certain way. And if you notice the amount of repetitions that Brother Daryl is putting into mixing it, you get a strong arm when you're a baker. You have to do a lot of mixing, a lot of kneading if you like to make bread, but definitely a lot of mashing of ingredients together.
Oh, yes, we'll get to kneading here in a bit. So we have half a cup down. Now that's another cup. Still got 1 more to go.
All right, so as he mixes some more, again, thank you to all of our viewers for tuning in. Anna Lumen says, health is wealth. #Berlin. So even for desserts, we don't like to skip desserts. For someone like me who likes to go on diets, who puts off desserts for a little bit, and there are some days where I look at desserts and I'm like, oh, I can't eat that. I'm going to eat this tonight. Or actually, I'm going to eat this very shortly because we have a finished product that we'll show and we'll eat live in front of you. So I apologize again in advance that we'll be eating one more time in front of the camera, but hopefully that inspires you to try to make this dish. And we're going to be adding more?
Yes, now we're at 1.5 cups. And as I'm listening to Henry, he is absolutely correct. Just because you're trying to eat healthy doesn't mean you have to skip niceties like dessert. I mean, now am I saying that you should eat dessert every day? Probably not. But there's ways that you can definitely make dessert something that you could have more frequently than not.
I see some comments in there. I think it went too fast, but I saw Jonah Rubik give the equivalent. I think it was 118 milliliters is 1 cup. So that's the euro equivalent. So from now on, we're going to say 118 milliliters.
118, got it.
Okay. And so how long does it take to make the mochis in total? That's a question from Sister Celine.
Okay, so if you don't include the boiling piece and the baking piece, which are more, those are hands off, I didn't spend more than 15 minutes doing this.
So the time is not time consuming it's not very time consuming. But if Kajed is the one to do the mashing, then he'll have his right arm free to be able to get all this mashing done. The texture looks like it's getting to a point where I'm not the best cook or chef, but usually when you get to that level, you're almost there. You're almost there. So as Daryl washes his hands, I see Sister Vanessa. This episode gives me more reason to eat mochi since they're without sugar. Hashtag Hamburg. This version of mochi is without sugar. Yes. So it all depends if you are making it yourself and you're in control of the ingredients. But majority of the mochi that you do eat will have sugar. All right, what do you have next?
Okay, so here's the fun part. Maybe for some, definitely for me. What you're gonna want to do is you're gonna want to grab the dough that you made. I'm not gonna take all of it, but I'll grab some of it since my cutting board is small. And what you're gonna want to do now, obviously wash your hands again, is you're gonna want to knead it. So let me move this out of the way.
All right, so as he's kneading it, I think you may have seen some social media videos of other bakers make mochi, and that as he's making it, smashing it, rolling it, smashing it, he is actually, what are you doing when you're doing that?
You're softening it up because at some point, once you're done kneading, I mean, I don't have a time for you, but I'm probably going to spend like at least 5 minutes kneading this. You're going to roll it up in prep to bake it.
So as you watch your favorite K-drama, you can do this and time will just pass by very quickly. And in no time, your mochi will be ready for baking. Looking at more comments, Rachel Muyot will try it with purple yam too.
Oh, yes.
Hashtag Freiburg GWS. Shout out to Rachel. Bubble tea mochi is also one of my faves. Hashtag Hamburg from Sister Jill in Hamburg. Yeah, so mochi, bubble tea mochi, actually bubble tea in general, they're all good. But I will say, be careful with the amount of sugar in there. Bubble tea does, unless you get the one that are sugar-free bubble tea, then, you know, the goal is to, for sugar. Question is, Daryl, can you eat it like that? Hashtag Hamburg. That's a question from Brother Daryl.
Now, can you, if you're me, yes. Because earlier when I was prepping the ready-made batch for consumption later, I was eating it just fine. And I actually think for a lot of mochi, folks actually don't even bake it half the time. I see them actually just pop it in the freezer and call it good. Don't quote me on that. I would say definitely do research. But from experience, I believe you can eat it just like this.
And I think also when you boil the sweet potato and you mash it, that's also how you make mashed sweet potato anyway. So that should be good to eat. And with all these ingredients you're adding, it's really just they're safe to eat as it is anyway. So, but also do your research, do your own research. We are amateur cooks, and we if it tastes good and it works out, then you've made a masterpiece. I see more comments. Erin Reynoso looks very yummy po. Hashtag Frankfurt. So already compliments of the product that's pre-oven condition. But what do we got next going on?
All right, perfect. Sorry, every time I cook, I always like to keep my surface.
And I'm gonna use this time to say that yes, the quickest way to clean is clean as you're preparing.
Thank you, Henry. I won't even get into that conversation, but yes, that is absolutely correct. All right, folks. So what we have now is our finished dough, pliable, ready to go. Now this is completely up to you how big you want to do your batches of mochi, but I like to just grab about a handful. And what you're gonna want to do now, you're gonna want to roll them into a ball.
All right. So how many mochi pieces are you making with just that amount?
So this was I'm looking over at the whole mashed sweet potato. This is only probably like 200 grams worth. I could probably make like 6.
So that's enough for your family, I think. For Daryl's family, that's probably more than enough for them. For me, I probably would eat all 6 myself. So just know your family, know how much they enjoy your desserts, and then you can start to allot your ingredients for however much that it is you're going to make. And I see some pidgin. Oh, cousin, what kind of food that? Hashtag Amsterdam. I know who that is.
I think I know who it is too.
So that's where the pidgin comes in. And then we see a lot more greetings, everyone greeting each other. So again, it's always nice to see all the brethren in our district always tuning in. And if you know brethren who are not tuned in, please also share the link to them so that they can also watch. And they don't have to watch it live. They can always watch it after to see what they had missed in the broadcast. If maybe they're working, maybe they can't join us live, but they can always tune in afterwards to watch the broadcast. So, all right, as Daryl's rolling his last smaller amount just to make sure all pieces are used, what's next?
What's next, Henry? Is I'm washing my hands.
Okay, so, and that's one good thing too, right? Is when you're preparing things, what I noticed the way Daryl cooks and prepares, he's always cleaning up. So always maintain your space and your hands before you contaminate other things. And I really appreciate that from Daryl. So that's a very great. That's how you know you have a good chef. Anyway, back to you, Daryl.
Perfect. So what you have now, this is pretty much your finished product right here. So I was almost close. I made about 5.5 because this little small one right here, I'll call him a half. But at this point, you are ready to bake your mochi. So what you're going to want to do, I probably should have said this earlier too, is set your oven to 350 Fahrenheit. I believe that's 180 Celsius. And if anyone could let me know if that's correct, you're going to want to set that, let your oven preheat. And then what you can do from here is get your baking tray ready. So in this case, I do have a ready-made batch. If I can pull that out.
Fast forward. Boom.
Actually, the one I made on camera is it actually looks way better than the pre-made one. But what I like to do, again, this is optional. You can grab yourself some sesame seeds. You can sprinkle it right on top of your mochi. And the reason I do that is I remember growing up, they would have like the mochi at the Chinese buffets, and they always had sesame seeds on top. So this is kind of a blast in the past for me.
I see a comment from Eileen. How I wish we could taste some of your cooking, Brother Daryl. # Hamburg. I think we need to do another live broadcast from Heidelberg so she can taste some of our cooking. All right, so at this point, I think it's time. We're going to transition back to the table, Alicia. So if you can, whether you have comments to read or comments on Daryl's cooking, what can you say about what you've seen or the dessert that he made, or is there any tips you would like to give Daryl or tips you'd like to ask from Daryl?
Well, first of all, love your cooking style. That's me as well. Every time I bake, I keep washing my hands after every step, especially if I'm like working with a bunch of ingredients that are messy. I always wash my hands as well. But great, it looks so simple, but sometimes I mess up simple things. But so little ingredients and it's so easy to make. A lot of our comments already are so excited for the taste test. I already see from Sister Trisha Ikban, lol, important is the taste, # Heidelberg, which is very true. Everybody is very excited to see the reaction of our taste testers. I think from the looks of it, our baby Nora is the most excited for the taste test as well. But yeah, we have so many comments. Thank you all so much for tuning in. I'll just read a few. It looks so yummy po from Sister Jenny Reschke. Greetings as well from Kamario Calvello, Sister Luz. She also has a suggestion: mashed banana plus some butter and grated cocoa. I forgot how it's called. # Zurich. And then Sister Jonna Rubik also said, please share in our next potluck. So I think we know what you're bringing, Daryl, to our next potluck, which is mochi. And then Cabrali Takushi, can you make some next Sunday, Brother Daryl? # Heidelberg. A lot of Heidelberg here, Paul. Thank you so much for joining. A few shout outs as well to Kasharon Panuco, Kawarli, Sister Vanessa, Brother Matthew, so many. Thank you so much for joining in. I don't see any other questions from our live chat, so I'll let you all taste test our finished product.
Okay, so our product is in the oven for a little bit. We want to make sure it's at its prime state before we demonstrate how delicious it is. So at this point, we're gonna show the actual biting of the mochi towards the end of our broadcast. So at this point, we're gonna start to transition to our next segment. I'll take it from here and basically introduce. I always tease pidgin is fun, and pidgin is fun. But I think something that is more fun for us is that German is fun. So let's always continue to learn with me because I need help to learn my German. So let's all listen into our favorite teacher of the Deutsch language for Deutsch macht Spaß. German is fun, Miss Malou. So let's all watch German is fun.
German is fun. Deutsch macht Spaß.
Hello everyone. Hallo zusammen. Welcome to German is fun. Willkommen zu Deutsch macht Spaß. I'm Malou Francisco, and as usual, together we'll be learning some German words and expressions. So, let's have fun.
German is fun. Deutsch macht Spaß.
For today, we'll be learning words and expressions
related to drinking coffee or tea without sugar. Our words for today: sugar, der Zucker, der Zucker, sugar, Zucker. Coffee, der Kaffee, Kaffee, coffee, Kaffee. Tea, tea, der Tee, tea. Some people drink coffee or tea with or without sugar. With sugar, mit. With mit. With sugar, mit Zucker. Mit Zucker. Without. Without is ohne. Ohne. O-H-N-E. Ohne. Without sugar, ohne Zucker. Ohne Zucker. To drink, trinken. Trinken. If you want to say, I drink, ich trinke. The ending of the German verb changes depending who the subject is. I drink, ich trinke. So I don't say ich trinken. Say ich trinke. I drink coffee, ich trinke Kaffee. Ich trinke Kaffee. Without sugar, ohne Zucker. Repeat after me, please. Ich trinke Kaffee. I drink coffee without sugar. Ich trinke Kaffee ohne Zucker. Ich trinke Kaffee ohne Zucker. And what about tea? I drink tea without sugar. Ich trinke Tee ohne Zucker. I drink tea without sugar. Ich trinke Tee ohne Zucker. Ich trinke Tee ohne Zucker.
German is fun. Deutsch macht Spaß.
And now it's time for our Wiederholung. It's time for a review of the words and expressions we learned today. Listen and repeat after me. Sugar, der Zucker. Coffee, der Kaffee. Tea, der Tee. With sugar, mit Zucker. Without sugar, ohne Zucker. To drink, trinken. I drink, ich trinke. I drink coffee without sugar. Ich trinke Kaffee ohne Zucker. I drink tea without sugar. Ich trinke Tee ohne Zucker.
German is fun. Deutsch macht Spaß.
This has been today's episode of German is Fun, Deutsch macht Spaß. I'm Malou Francisco saying, thank you for joining me. Danke fürs Zuschauen. Till next time, bis zum nächsten Mal. Tschüss!
German is fun. Deutsch macht Spaß.
Central Europe Connections. I hope you all enjoyed this episode of German is Fun, and I hope you all were paying attention as well, because we will be quizzing this time Kuya Henry on what he learned in German is Fun. But before I ask my wonderful German question to Henry, one question to the chat. Trinkt ihr gerne Kaffee oder Tee? Are you all team coffee or tea people? So, Kuya Henry, I'll ask you a different question. Are you ready?
Game ka na ba? Game na.
Don't worry, it's not hard. I'll give you a hint. You can look in the live chat. They've been answering as well how they like their coffee. So I'll ask the question. Wie trinkst du dein Kaffee?
Ich trinke Kaffee mit Zucker und mit Milch.
Very good pronunciation.
Galing, galing.
Very good. I hope you all enjoyed that part of our segment. I wish I could smell the mochi. Can you already smell the mochi, Henry?
It's almost ready. I think it needs another couple of minutes. So I think by the time that we are done with the top 3 clusters and top chatters, you'll be able to watch us eat some delicious mochi. So in that case, so for those who are in our chat, continue to put in your hashtag with your cluster. Last week, it was, if I'm not mistaken, Berlin was 2nd place and Heidelberg was 1st place. But I will say that Berlin, they were busy with talking to me on the microphone, so they weren't able to chat. So I don't know if they'll make 1st place this time. And I apologize, Camario and all those in Berlin, that if you don't win this time around, it's because I was there. But in any case, continue to put in your hashtag and your cluster. And again, for those who are actively always supporting our broadcasts, we will consider your cluster to be the next cluster to visit. So please continue to always invite those who are not in our broadcast today, who you're not seeing in chat. Ask them to participate in chat, or ask them to even view our weekly broadcast at 7 p.m. Central European Time. Because at this point of our broadcast, we are now going to mention or relay and announce who the top 3 clusters are for our previous week. And if you are number 1, we will celebrate with you. So Kuya Tech, who were the top 3 clusters from last week?
Third place, Hamburg Cluster. Second place, Bayern Cluster. First place, Berlin Cluster.
Wow, I did not see that coming. Wow. So they were not only with me on the microphone live in Berlin as we broadcasted there, they still won for the top 3 clusters. And Heidelberg wasn't even there. What happened, Heidelberg? Daryl, see, that's why, Daryl, we need to have more mochi to inspire our cluster so that we can ensure that we're in the top 3 constantly, nonstop. So as you can, actually, before I continue, shout out to Berlin one more time, because we really had an enjoyable time there. Thank you for your hospitality to to the Apuyas, to Calvellos, to all those who were with us in attendance to Berlin Cluster. Thank you so much for making that broadcast very memorable, not just for myself, but for the district. That was a first for us to be able to do that. So we want to continue that. And again, please continue to invite others to join us in our broadcast. But Daryl, you have something delicious right in front of you.
Yes, hopefully you can see it. This is the finished product. Again, this is sweet potato mochi. Now, I did keep it in the oven for about 10 minutes, but for the sake of time, I probably would have left it in for maybe 5 more minutes. But again, it depends on the consistency you like. So if I can ask the host and Rachel as well to give it a try and let me know. And then next time, next time we have a potluck, I'll definitely try again with mochi, whether it's sweet potato or I think I saw someone say ube, whatever it is, I'll do it.
So put a smiley emoji if you want Daryl to visit you with mochi, and you might inspire him to come by and hand deliver some mochi to your cluster. But at this point, my wife and I will try some mochi as Nora also makes her way back and watches us eat this mochi. Go ahead and pick your piece.
There's 2 pieces.
There's 2 pieces. So Hannah gets fed by Daryl nonstop.
We live together.
So a little background information. This is Daryl's first time, and it's really good. So the fact that we're able to make it just like that with no sugar added, I will say no sugar added, it's really delicious, as I give my wife some. Go ahead. And I'll let her also echo whatever. Hopefully she echoes what I says. Would you agree that's delicious?
Yes.
She
Lekker.
She says lekker. So how do you say lekka? It's lekka, right, Alicia? All right, so it's lekka. Naimas in Ilocano. Sarap Tagalog. In Hawaii pidgin. Ono or onolicious. So it's really good. So hopefully you've learned something from today. And I think I did miss something. Our top 3 chatters from last week, starting with tied for second place is Karenier and Kajeri Bartolome. And our first place top chatter, it would have been Camario, but I was talking to him a lot in the broadcast, so it's not Camario. Top 1 chatter was Kalinda Calvello. So congratulations to our top 3 chatters from last week in our broadcast, and we'll find out in our next week broadcast who was the cluster that chatted the most and who were the top 3 chatters in today's broadcast. So Elisha, we're about to conclude our broadcast today. What do we have next as we're about to end?
Yes, I think we're all very excited to find out what our topic is for next week. And I'm very glad we already announced our riddle for next week's broadcast. So make sure to pay close attention as I read the riddle. I pack a picture you can eat, tiny meals, tidy and neat, rice and colors side by side. What careful craft is this called? So I hope you all make sure to comment your guesses on what our topic is for next week, and we'll be sure to mention you if you guessed right next week in our broadcast. We have a little bit more time, so I will let you all have your shout outs first. So for me first, shout out to all of our viewers and listeners. Thank you so much for tuning in tonight, and thank you so much for always supporting Weekly Hour INCRadio, our Central Europe connections. Make sure to stay tuned. Thank you so much to our production crew, our district multimedia. Shout out to Heidelberg Cluster, to my family who's always tuning in as well. And thank you all so much again for tuning in. See you all next week. Henry?
All right, and Daryl, would you like to shout out anyone?
Absolutely. We would love to shout out our families in the INA, so that's an island, but also our families in California, our siblings, our friends, and everyone who's listening tonight, especially those from Heidelberg and also Kaiserslautern Extension.
Okay, next to my wife, Rachel, shout out.
I'd like to give a shout out to my ohana here in Central Europe, also in Hawaii and in the Philippines.
And I would like to shout out, if you're not from our district, thank you for tuning into our broadcast. Shout out to Los Angeles. I think I'll be talking to you soon. Shout out to Hawaii Pacific viewers. If you were there, shout out to Kajeri Bartolome for helping us to be first place next week, because I saw all the chats earlier. Thank you to all of my Heidelberg Cluster family. shout out to everyone who's in our chat today. Thank you for making today feel such like a successful broadcast. Shout out to District of Northern Plains on behalf of the Ikban family, hashtag Heidelberg, former Heidelberg clusters. And again, shout out to, did I say Central Europe? Everyone here in Central Europe. Shout out for making INCRadio CEU connection so much fun, that as we connect to the different parts of not just within our cluster, but outside of our cluster, we're able to connect with the brethren all over the world. And the more viewers and viewership that we have, the more united we are in our district in everything that we do. Back to you, Alicia.
Yes, thank you all again so much for connecting. Let's stay connected and inspired. See you all next week, same time, same place. Bye.